GNCC racing in one word, I guess I would just say gnarly, you know, or brutal. It's just one of those things where a 3-hour race is a long endurance race, so it's tough on you mentally, physically. You know, for us, we're the last race of the weekend, so the track is really beat up, really worn out, and you know, the competition is tough. So you're having to push, you know, past your comfort level constantly. You just have to be mentally tough and grit it out more than anything.
It's tough. 3 hours is a long time, and a lot of stuff goes through your head, you know, whether it's at the start of the race or, you know, the last lap. It's tough. You're in a battle with other people. You're in a battle with yourself, like who can push through the hardest, push through the, you know, the tough, you know, the tougher the conditions, you know, who's fighting the most pain, because nobody's having a perfect day, you know.
I would say 2 words, mentally tough. I think GNCC is, you know, 70–80% mental, and the other part is obviously got to be in shape. But if you tell yourself you can, you're going to do it. And if you tell yourself you can't and you're tired, then you're not going to do it. So I think describing GNCC would be mentally tough. You know, that's you need to be mentally strong. There's a lot of fast guys that can go fast for 2 hours. There's a lot of fast guys that can go fast in practice and sprints and all that stuff. But this is a whole different ball game, and yeah, I would say mentally tough would describe GNCC for me.
The racing duration here, 3 hours of racing, is gnarly. There's nowhere else you get that kind of consecutive intensity for 3 hours on a track that breaks down and is as technical as they get. Even when we have a smoother track or an easier track, still the intensity factor for the race is it's gnarly. Because I mean, the amount of calories you burn and the amount of intensity that's on the track racing head to head, there's nothing else like it.
The only word that really comes to mind is brutal. It is brutal. It kind of, not every race is brutal, but the series as a whole is brutal. You know, 3 hours, give or take, 13 times. It's not like there's a ton of rounds, but there's a lot of racing hours in that 13-hour time span. So it makes you, it really makes you question yourself and figure out what you're made of. That's for sure, you know, especially when it's hot and humid and dry and dusty or muddy, and there's so many different variations and variables that can and will happen eventually, and to keep your body in the bike and your mind in it for 13 times and 3 hours every time, it's tough. So I feel like it just brutal is the definition, the term I would use.
I mean, family's a pretty good word. Everyone is one big group here, and I can walk onto most of these trucks, and everyone's, you know, happy to see you and excited and wants the best for you. And the same for this team here. It's, you know, it's a big family. We all go to the start line together wanting to beat each other, but once the helmets come off, we're all good friends and hang out and talk. It's pretty cool.